Okay, we are back for round 2 of this event. We are against Chillwiz, which is fun. Although unfortunately for Chillwiz, his opponent never showed up to the game, so he actually got to buy the first round. We'll go give him the hey and good luck. I am also now down a good luck black cat. He decided he was hungry, so he left me. Apparently food is more important than Magic the Gathering. How could this be? So, having played the format for a little bit now, or starting when it came out, and then, you know, up to this point, let me adjust my microphone slightly. I've always been interested in seeing how people feel about the different guilds and what their power level is comparative to the other guilds. I think everyone's in agreement that Selesnya is the most powerful guild. I've heard people call Izzet as the weakest guild, though, and I'm not sure it is. I would say that the second most powerful guild is probably Rakdos, but I think that Izzet and Azorius are tied in the middle, and Golgari is probably at the bottom. Izzet has some of like the best common cards, and it has some decent bombs as well. I mean, Niv Mizzet is pretty good if he ever sees play. Obviously, Hypersonic Dragon is also really good. Things like Frostburn Weirds, though, and stuff, those are really good. And, like, when people see those, like, they'll snatch up 3 or 4 of them for a draft if they can. Because the Frostburn Weird is kind of like, that is the card that you want a Legion of. Because it's always the right size. It always gives you something to do with your mana, so it's never really a waste. And it comes out on turn 2. And it's a 1/4 for 2 mana, so that's not bad at all. And it can be paid red or blue. So I don't know where my opponent is right now. It's totally possible that while he waited for his opponent to show up and promptly lose to him, he decided to go get something to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I will return when he is back to play. Okay, so we are back. Looking at this hand is a good strong hand. I like this hand. We do have New Prov Guildmage into Rooming into Hypersonic Dragon. I don't think that is a hand that we can mulligan. And the weakness to our deck is clearly Rakdos, and I'm kind of hoping that this doesn't spell Rakdos for us. So we can lay out their guild gate here with no problems. And we are all fixed up for mana. We have every color of the rainbow, and we'll be doing just fine. Things I would not like to see here, a Thrill Kill Assassin would be pretty bad. The New Prov Guildmage, though, is a bear that you just really don't want to trade with anything. I really want to utilize his ability in the later game. But at the same time, it's not exactly something that I can wait forever to play. So I would have to get that down. Okay, so we will go ahead and play out our planes here, so that we can go ahead and play out this New Prov Guildmage. So we've shown now that we are, in fact, 3 colors. But getting back to talking about the guilds, I think Izzet and Azorius, I've heard some bad things about Azorius too, but I think Azorius is pretty good, and I think Izzet is pretty good. He's definitely Rakdos. So that's pretty unfortunate. But we will have a Lobber Crew to deal with that. So here we can pretty much just swing in and not have to worry too much about it. And get our free 2 damage. He also had a very, very slow start, so that was pretty good as well. The Lobber Crew is good because it allows us to curve out appropriately into a turn 2, 3, 4, and 5 play, which is what you hope Rakdos doesn't do, and is, of course, what you always want to do. So he definitely has something. For 4 mana, could be, it can't be a Bloodfray Giant. He doesn't have the correct amount of red. Perilous Shadow? Okay, Street Spasm. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But if anything was going to get Street Spasmed, I guess it was going to be that, and better that there than later on in the game. So here we can pretty much play out... let's see, we can pretty much play out anything we wanted there. And we'll go ahead and put down this Rune Wing. And this Rune Wing's pretty good, because even if he blows this guy out of this guy, we do get a card off the deal. And Hypersonic Dragon is coming down next turn, so we can really start laying down the beats. And it will even reset our Lobber crew, which is kind of nice. Imp is good. And Civic Saber is very interesting. Okay, yeah, Civic Sabering up the Imp, that seems appropriate. And we'll go ahead and pling in here. So we also just pulled Sphinx's Revelation, which is pretty impressive. That's pretty much exactly where we want to be. I think right now, though, the plan is we're just going to go ahead and play out this Hypersonic Dragon and swing in. If he wants to trade the Rune Wing for the Dagger Drone Imp, I don't really feel horrible about that. That does get us a card. And it does, well, let's see. Actually, I think I'll stay back. If he wants to trade his Imp for this Hypersonic Dragon, I'm fine with that. And if he doesn't, then at least I have this Rune Wing to block it so he's not gaining like a ton of life every turn. So yeah, he just goes ahead and takes that. And on top of it, we still have Sphinx's Revelation for some big card draw when the time comes. If he swings in here, I will absolutely block with this Rune Wing. And then if we wanted to burn Sphinx's Revelation next turn, we would be throwing it down for 3, which isn't bad. So yeah, he's going to swing in there, so obviously he's going to have some kind of follow-up play. I will go ahead and take that block, though. And we do get our card out of the deal, which is kind of nice. And it's a Hussar Patrol, that's not bad. Let's see what his follow-up play here is. Grim Roustabout, okay. That's actually not too horrible. I don't feel too bad about that. He does still have 2 mana open. So, could be another Dagger Drone Imp. Okay, he's going to go ahead and equip that. That's fine. Annihilating Fire is good. Actually, I could throw it down right now while he's tapped out and not really have to worry much about that Grim Roustabout. But really, I'm not really worried about that Grim Roustabout anyway. So I think the idea here is we just swing in with our dragon. I also may have forgotten to pling there the last go. And yeah, we can pretty much hold up everything we have because we have Hussar Patrol, we have Annihilating Fire, we have Sphinx's Revelation, so I'm not really too worried. Also, we have this huge beater in the air, which is nice. Sewer Shambler, okay. Sewer Shambler is fine, but the Lobber Crew still blocks either of these all day long. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I know all about that. So looks like what we're going to do here is pling for 1. We'll go ahead and lay down our Hussar Patrol. Because we don't even have to worry yet about getting our Sphinx's Revelation online. And that brings him down to 8, and he's essentially now on a 2-turn clock. We also have Azurus Arrestor. That's pretty good. And he just goes ahead and folds. Yeah, we had a really good hand. So, I mean, we pretty much had answers to everything, and he just wasn't drawing his red mana, which really sucks for him. And we had some good things coming up, too. Pursuit of Flight would have been nice. I would have Sphinx's Revelation to get through a bunch of cards. Yeah, we were sitting just fine. So we saw a Dagger Drone Imp, we saw Street Spasm, we saw Grim Roustabout and a Saber, which was pretty interesting. Kind of trying to decide if I really want to mess around here. Something to consider is putting in something like a Batter Horn and taking out something like an Inaction Injunction. He does have that key rune, and that was pretty much his only way to get the mana that he needed the last time. What that does do, though, is it kind of moves our curve a little bit later in the game. It also puts one more red card on the ground. Let's see here. But I think that's okay. I think Batterhorn's a fine card anyway. It trades with things like Spawn of Rixmade, which is fine. And like I said, it gets rid of that key rune, which is pretty good. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and submit this the way it is. Yeah, that should be fine. It also trades with things like the Grim Roustabout, or it doesn't trade, but it stops things like the Grim Roustabout. And this is kind of a sketchy hand here. We have a bunch of ways to effectively nullify the board for a while, but then we don't have like a lot of gas in our hand. People say in 30 card that it's always better to keep a land flooded hand because of the fact that you're only running 13 lands, so you have greater potential to see good playable cards. And I think that's what we're going to do here. He didn't have like the most fast start last time, and like I said, we do have a couple of ways to kind of slow him down if needed. Alright, so we draw a Hussar Patrol. That's not like the best thing we could have drawn. It's a 4-drop, but it's not bad. Seeing something like a Concordia Pegasus would be really nice here. Basically just so that we get something down on turn 2. And it looks like... let's see. Looks like he doesn't have anything to do either. There's our Batterhorn. That's kind of interesting. So yeah, we can pretty much just play out this Plains here and say done go. We have Dramatic Rescue up now. We have Bluster Squall, but I don't really think we're going to be needing it quite yet. So in the slow game, I'm actually pretty confident. I feel confident if the game runs slow. We might see a Splatter Thug here. Nope, there's his key rune. So that's really fortunate because once 5 mana comes around, which is not anytime soon by any stretch of the imagination, we'll be able to lay down this Hussar Patrol, and that's pretty good. Thinking about what we need here, Sphinx's Revelation is still far away, but we'll go ahead and lay down this blue mana. So he knows right now we're not really doing very much. If he swings with the Rakdos key rune, I'm actually inclined to dramatically rescue it. But it looks like he's just going to tap all his mana for a Batterhorn. Okay. And that's kind of funny because it would normally target that. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to choose to use the ability, but that's funny. Okay. So Batterhorn, I have to decide if that's something that I would want to rescue. And I kind of think it is right now. We're down in tempo a lot, and we kind of need to start getting back into the swing of things. So we'll go ahead and put that away. Okay, so we're going to have Hussar mana up now. That's good. We're going to have Batterhorn next turn to get rid of that Rakdos key rune. That's pretty cool too. So we're doing okay. This is a super slow game, but that's kind of where we want to be. We want to be slowing them down and making the game run real slow. So if he wants to play that Batterhorn again, I am all for that. He's tapping 6 this time, though, so we might see a spawn. Okay, it's a Tenement Crasher. Let's see here. The question is, do we Bluster Squall something like that, or do we just take the 5 damage? I think we just go ahead and take the 5 damage here. I don't really feel like throwing a Hussar Patrol like right in the way of it, so... In the grand race of things, he's definitely beating us, but... We'll see if we can stabilize here with some good cards. Hussar Patrol is just fine, and then of course Batterhorn would... Well, there's a Hypersonic Dragon. So I have a couple options here. I can actually just Hypersonic Dragon away, or I can Batterhorn and get rid of that Rakdos Key Rune, and that does trade with the Tenement Crasher. I think in this instance, I'd actually rather just get the Batterhorn down. I'm losing on 4 damage, but I'm getting rid of a Rakdos Key Rune, and I have a way to stop this Crasher. So that's pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and get in here for 2. And if there's any key rune I would want to destroy, it's definitely the Rakdos key rune. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and destroy that. And yes, I will use that ability. We still have this Bluster Squall, which is fine. We're representing 8, 9, 10 damage on the board if we wanted to, but I would probably just trade this Batterhorn for this Tenement Crasher. Yeah, I'll make that trade. If he has like an Annihilating Fire or something like that, that's pretty unfortunate, but this is a trade I'm fine with. I can't think of any way with red and black that he could do any kind of like weird pumping or anything like that. I'm sure he'll have a secondary play here. So maybe spawn a Rixmati. Or the Batterhorn. Okay, so he's going to just play that Batterhorn out. There's the Archon. That's pretty good because now we're going to curve out right where we want to be. So here we can pretty much just play this Hypersonic Dragon and be fun and have fun with it. I could have left it as a Guild Gate up, but... So yeah, we'll go ahead and rush in here for 4. And we can do a couple things. We can tap down that Batterhorn next turn, or I can just take the damage. We do have Archon of the Triumvirate coming out, which is going to be just amazing. And it is an aerial beater. So I'm kind of wondering if I just want to save myself the 4 damage. I don't think I really have to right yet. Well, let's see. How would I use my mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would use it all for the Archon. Right now we're representing this 4 in the sky. He does have a Dagger Dome imp. I think we will let this Batterhorn get through. And we'll see what his follow-up play here is. Yeah, the Augur Spree is pretty good. And he does even have an imp. So that's certainly not bad. So let's see. We can play down this Plains. We can swing in here. Even if he has Dynacharge, it's not a huge deal. He might even just let this pass. Yeah, he does. And now we can go ahead and lay down this Archon. And if he doesn't have a way to deal with it, we're sitting in a pretty good position. I won't say our position is amazing, but our position is pretty good. And if this Archon does manage to stay on the board, he also has a Street Spasm that does not work on the Archon, which is kind of nice. Yeah, he had the Explosive Impact. There's really nothing we can do about that. So that's actually pretty bad. We're in a spot right now where he managed to have the answers for like 2 of our bomb creatures, and there's really nothing we could do about it. And I'm already down to 8. Getting a Pursuit of Flight is actually pretty cool. Because now this is a Vigilance flying death machine. So that's kind of neat. We still have this Bluster Squall as well, which is nice. We have him on a 3-turn clock. And I'm trying to decide if I just want to bluster squall these creatures, or what is the chance that he would have a secondary explosive impact, because that would really blow us out with this Hussar Patrol. I think I just go ahead and bluster squall here. So we are in top deck mode, but there's actually quite a few things that we could draw that would be really good. And if all he has is a Civic Saber, I will feel really great about that. Alright, so we draw a Rune Wing. That's not bad. So we can go ahead and Vigilance. I'm sorry, we don't want to do that. Or we don't need to do that. I can't think of any red flash creature. So we can go ahead and rush in here for that 4 damage. That's not bad. And then we can go ahead and play this Rune Wing. Trading the Rune Wing for the Imp is something that I certainly have no problem with doing again. I do have to block here, just because if he does have like an explosive impact, that would be really unfortunate to hit me right in the face. And really, I just mostly have to hope that he doesn't have anything for the Hussar Patrol. Spawn of Rixmati is bad, but it's... Well, let's see here. What can we do? He's Spawn of Rixmatis. He's got 1 card in hand. If it's a Dyna Charge, I lose this Hussar Patrol, which is really bad. He may even leash this, but if he unleashes it, it has the ability to get past my Hussar Patrol. So an argument could be made either way. He does leash it. And he does not swing. Interesting. Okay. So now I really have to consider how to do this. We have 5, 6. Okay, we have enough mana to do everything we want to do. And we have this Aspira Skywatch. I'm pretty sure that we can just Aspira Skywatch the Daggerdrome Imp and just win. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 mana, so we have enough mana. So let's go ahead and make sure that we tap our mana appropriately. This assuredly uses a blue, so that's good. And we go ahead and wrap a leash around the Daggerdrome Imp, and we can fly in for 6, and that should be the game. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that's the game. So he didn't manage to have anything for that. That was a pretty good top deck. We weren't in the best of positions, but our board position wasn't terrible either. I had the ability to basically block everything, which is decent, but he would have snuck some damage in unless I drew a creature, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, so bringing in that Batterhorn did just fine. Hope you guys enjoyed that round 2, and I will see you guys for the finals.